have a bold vision and you're building something from nothing. But what's happening is that you are drowning in conflicting advice, burning resources through random experiments, and wondering if there is a systematic way to turn your vision into a business that actually defines a category, create a new market. Or maybe you are leading a well-established business. The operation runs smoothly, the numbers look respectable, but deep down, you're suspecting that the company is a well-oiled machine moving in a wrong direction. Operationally excellent, but strategically adrift. Maybe you're the one who's consistently delivering results in your function and your domain. You exceed every operational target. But in the strategy meetings, your insights are ignored. Your last performance review says you need to think more strategically, and you're wondering, how do I prove I belong in the strategy table? If any of this sounds familiar, stay with me. Over the next 10 minutes, I'll show you exactly why these struggles persist and how you can become a visionary business strategist your organization truly needs. Hi, I am Sudhakar Immanuel, Prabu, Chief Consultant and Executive Coach at Leadwell. Over the past 25 years, I have built 2 businesses from ground up, consulted over 50 companies on strategy and innovation, and facilitated more than 500 executive development programs. My role here is to empower and enable you. In my role as an architect of your strategic transformation, I am here to take you from strategic uncertainty to strategic mastery. Most leaders I work with are intelligent and ambitious. However, what they lack is a systematic strategic process. They're overwhelmed by too many frameworks, trapped in strategy fragmentation, paralyzed by conflicting advice, stuck in a fierce competition. They confuse activity with strategy, mistaking budgets, planning, and a list of to-do things for market-creating, market-beating strategy. Let me explain why this happens and, more importantly, what can you do about it. Here is the reality. The demand for business strategists is high and will only increase with the days and months. Organizations need leaders who can turn insights into strategic decisions. Organizations need leaders who can demonstrate advanced strategic thinking and a business strategy expertise at a C-suite level judgment. Yet, a McKinsey research on strategy champions shows that only 1 in 5 companies truly believe they have a strong strategy. That is an enormous gap, an enormous opportunity for anyone willing to close with a sound strategy. Let me show you what this means for you and how this is going to impact you. If you're a founder or a business owner, you're overwhelmed with advice, growth hacking, blue ocean, lean startup, product-led growth, and there are many, many more. Each framework claims to be the solution for your business. But when you try to apply them, implement them, you end up with a fragmented experiments that waste money without creating anything lasting. Doubt is the constant. Is my core idea genuinely market creating or just another Me Too offering heading for a price war? You can't clearly define a strategy beyond saying we are going to grow fast. Your time and money is running out, and a single wrong strategic move could be disastrous. If you are a business leader or a senior management executive, your challenge is different but just as urgent. Your strategy is fragmented, marketing has a one approach, product has an another, and the growth plan no one agrees on. You sit through endless strategic planning meetings that generate PowerPoint decks instead of strategic decisions. You see resources poured into misaligned strategic initiatives while your competitive advantage diminishes quarter after quarter. You suspect the company's biggest risk isn't a competitor, it is a lack of a coherent strategy. And if you are an aspiring strategic leader, a middle management executive, or a domain expert, you face a frustrating paradox. You deliver results, you exceed operational targets, you see the strategic flaws from your vantage point as a closer to the customer, but you lack the framework and the strategic language to present your insight in a way that captures your CEO's attention. You are typecasted as a doer, executor, and not a strategic thinker. Until that changes, your path to the CISO stays blocked. If any of these problems resonate with you, here is what really going on. Our research has pointed out 4 root causes behind every strategic challenge. Number 1, strategy fragmentation. Functional strategies and strategic initiatives operate in silos. They are not connected to the core strategy. The result, wasted resources and weakened strategic focus. Second is a strategy framework overload. Too many overlapping and conflicting tools causing cognitive overload. You end up with analysis that doesn't translate into impactful strategies. The third one is the absence of a systematic strategic process. Without a structured strategic sequence, a structured strategic process, you make ad hoc, random moves that result in missed opportunities, conflicting priorities, and increased risk of failure. And the fourth problem is the strategic capability gaps. When you haven't experienced the full strategic life cycle, uncertainty breeds doubt and you end up second guessing, and what happens is a decision paralysis. These 4 gaps stand between you and the strategic mastery. The question is, how are you going to close them? Here is what you really need. Not just another collection of frameworks, but an integrated strategic approach that turns your strategic thinking from a mystery into a systematic, repeatable strategic process. That's exactly what this program offers you. You don't merely learn strategy, you gain a proven strategy development system. A clear strategic sequence that shows you which tool to use, in what stage, and in which order, tailored specific to your business context. Most strategy management programs give you a toolkit and leaves you inspired but confused. This program gives you the blueprint, the process, and a hands-on experience to implement strategy immediately in your business context. We focus on 2 powerful, globally proven strategic framework that is used by most successful companies: Blue Ocean strategy and value-based strategy. Blue Ocean strategy is used by innovative companies worldwide to make competition irrelevant, create new markets, and unlock new demand. Value-based strategy is used by successful companies to boost profit margin and align value across stakeholders. But here is a key transformation that makes this program unique for you. As a founder or a business owner, you will finally have a systematic process to validate whether your innovation truly creates market creating value before you burn through your capital. As a business leader or a senior management executive, you will gain a strategic architecture to lead your organization out of competitive convergence and achieve a measurable results, higher margins, faster growth, and a deeper competitive advantage. As an aspiring strategic leader, you will develop the ability to see the big picture, adopt a long-term perspective, and walk into any leadership meeting with a market-creating opportunity, present it with clarity and confidence that earns you a seat at the strategy table. Now, when it comes to developing a C-suite level strategic capabilities and a business strategy expertise, you're faced with two choices. For choice one is a path traditional route. You learn on the job through trial and error over the next 3 to 5 years. But let me be honest about what this could really cost you. If you are a founder or a business owner, every failed experiment reduces your budget and shortens your timeline. You might not have the 3 to 5 years. If you are a business leader or a senior executive, one poorly conceived strategy just not waste budget and opportunity, but it erodes your credibility within the leadership team and among the stakeholders in organization. And if you're an aspiring strategic leader, while you learn slowly through observation on the job, someone else with the sharper strategic skills gets that promotion that you're trying to get. But the second path is a good path, an accelerated path. Compress years of strategic learning into a structured 45-day strategic transformation. Here is a critical difference. In this program, strategy is not a subject you study. It is a capability, a permanent capability you build through hands-on experience. You will apply frameworks like blue ocean strategy and value-based strategy in a systematic process to design a real market-creating, market-beating strategy for your company during the 5-week strategy development phase. This is not a theoretical knowledge you forget after 5 weeks. This is a permanent strategic capability that reshapes how you think, how you decide, and how you lead as a strategic leader. Here is exactly how this works for you. It has 2 phases. Phase 1 is a 3-day in-person strategy and innovation bootcamp with the blue ocean strategy simulations. Over the 3 days, you will analyze case studies of successful companies that have implemented these strategies to gain valuable insights into competitive strategy, market creating strategy, growth strategy, strategic fit, and strategic agility. You will also participate in a blue ocean strategy simulation. This is where everything shifts. You will experience the full strategic life cycle, the intense pressure to face fierce competition, price wars, and shrinking margins. Then systematically you will create new market, unlock new demand, and make the competition irrelevant. When rivals catches up, you will design a strategic shift and demonstrate strategic agility. You will gain the kind of a strategic experience that typically takes years compressed into days without risking your credibility or your company's capital. The second phase is a 5-week online strategy development. This is where theory turns into practice and real business impact. In group sessions, you will apply the frameworks and the tools through a structured strategy development process to design a market creating strategy or a strategic initiative that is attractive to your organization and it is ready for implementation. You will also receive a one-on-one executive coaching, a personalized feedback to refine your mental models, leverage your strength, and effectively strategize with a contextual awareness and a sound judgment. The time commitment that you need during the strategy development phase is about 4 to 6 hours weekly. Since you are working on strategies relevant to your own business, every hour spent directly enhances your ability to address strategic challenges in your business setting. Now, here is what your investment in this program really means. For a founder or a business owner, one validated market creating strategy could mean the difference between marginal survival and building the next industry defining company. For a business leader or a senior executive, consider the cost of another year of competitive pressure and a shrinking margin. One successful strategic initiative could generate crores in revenue, restore your reputation as a visionary business strategist. For an aspiring strategic leader, demonstrating strategic capabilities in your next strategic planning meeting could accelerate your path to C-suite by about 2 to 3 years. The ability to present a complete market creating strategy to your leadership backed by a strong framework is the quickest way to prove you are ready for a strategic leadership roles in your organization. Now, you might be thinking, is this the right program for where I am right now? That is a right question to ask. That is why your next step is not an enrollment. It is a strategic capability discovery session. I am building something very specific here. My goal is to create the kind of a transformative strategic learning environment you would expect from a premium global executive development programs with simulating discussions, diverse perspectives, and a genuine cross-pollination of ideas. The power of this transformative strategic learning experience comes from 20 leaders with the right mix of ambition and a commitment to a strategic leadership excellence. That is why I'm inviting you to a private one-on-one strategic conversation over a Zoom. Let me be clear. This is not a sales call. This is a diagnostic strategic discussion about your strategic leadership. Here is what you will gain in a 30 to 40 minute strategic discussion with me. First, a personalized strategic capability snapshot. You will gain a complete clarity on where you currently stand across 4 dimensions that set apart visionary business strategists. The second, you will understand blind spots and the strategic capability gaps. I'll help you identify hidden strategic capability gaps, and we will unearth some of the strategic blind spots that may be holding you back from making the kind of a strategic impact you desire to achieve. The third one is a personalized strategy development roadmap. Based on your specific situation, I will show you whether this 45-day strategic transformation is a right step for you or how to approach your executive development differently. You will leave this session with a clear understanding of your strategic capabilities, specific areas to focus on, and an actionable steps that you can take immediately to enhance your strategic leadership. Here is my question for you. If you're a founder or a business owner, are you ready to replace that chaos and self-doubt with a clear, systematic strategy development process for building a category-defining business? Craft strategies that make the competition irrelevant and create something that just not survive but a defined new market? If you are a business leader and a senior executive, are you ready to stop making and managing the decline and start designing a strategic shift your organization truly needs? To move from reactive firefighting to a proactive market leadership? If you are an aspiring strategic leader, are you ready to stop being invisible at the strategy table? Are you ready to become the strategic voice your CEO trusts and your peers respect? If your answer is yes, here is the next step for you. Click the link below or reply to this message to book your strategic capability discovery session with me. In this session, you will gain strategic clarity, understand exactly where you stand right now on your strategy excellence, identify the gaps that is holding you back, and determine if this 45-day strategic transformation is right for you. I am looking forward to meet you on Zoom to explore whether this 45-day strategic transformation journey can be the turning point in your strategic leadership career.